Hello and welcome back to Finishing Strong. It's your girl, Erica Strong. So today the topic is going to be a little heavy, a little deep, because you know me, I'm always sharing and expressing from conversations that I have and just the temperament of what I'm feeling, and then I'll just either write a post or talk to you guys. So today I want to talk about the deep emotion of depression. And the reason why I just felt like this was so serious to talk about it is because, like, I am one of 6 sisters, right? And as we mature, we start becoming faced with issues that are out of our control, like our health. And like a couple weeks ago, I got a phone call from my niece saying that one of my sisters had 7 seizures and was in intensive care. And it was like not looking good. She had tubes down her throat, and just it was a whole storm of negative what was happening with her. Then I have another sister who found out that she had to potentially go on dialysis. Now, we've lost both of our parents, and both of our parents passed with renal failure. So of course the antennas goes up and everybody gets afraid. And then I also have a sister who's been battling with sickle cell her entire life, and also lupus. So you have all of these things going on that you just can't control. And because my sisters and I are really close, we talk about everything. So we're on the phone one day, and one of my sisters sends a message to the sisters, helping us to understand what was going on with our sister that had just had the seizures, that was in the hospital, and she was just giving us a full report of what the doctor said. And she just bursts into tears, and she's crying because she's so overwhelmed with all the news from our sisters and what's happening, because we don't have our parents, we only have each other now and our kids, so we are really, really, really close. So she's like, I feel really depressed and I don't know how to handle it. I don't want my kids to feel this depression that I'm feeling. And she just really lost it. And then another one of my sisters chimed in and it's like, I've been feeling that same way. I've been feeling really depressed. And all of this was in the whole time that Kate Spade had taken her life due to depression. And then Anthony Bourdain had taken his life due to depression. So all of this is happening at the same time. I'm having a conversation with some friends about, just this whole conversation of depression. And then a client, says that she battles with depression. And so I felt like it needed to be a conversation that we had to have through Finishing Strong. Because remember, I'm always telling you that the answer that you need for your life is inside of you. And so when you are deeply pressed with negative emotions that just continuously goes on and goes on and goes on, you fall into a state of depression. Now, I do understand that depression is something that's not just emotional. It could be a chemical imbalance and all of the things that's wrapped up in it. But I can help you with the part of the emotional state that you can stay in that depression cannot reach. One of the reasons why we have to really stay guarded and vigilant about our mental space is because God gave us independent choice. When we were created, He gave us the power to have a choice on anything. I have a choice on what to believe, how to think, what to wear, what to eat, what to drink. I have a choice in every aspect of my life. Because I wasn't created by a God that said, you're only going to serve me and that's what it's going to be. He gave me a choice. And the reason that He gave me a choice is because He knew that He had already equipped me with the power that He had. Because I'm connected and I'm one with Him. So if His power is to be able to speak things into existence, into manifestation, if His power is to be able to create this world of joy and prosperity and abundance and happiness and life and love and health, then I have the same thing. So if I gave you the gift to manifest and create your entire life, then I give you a choice. So here is our Creator that has given us all of what we need to survive. And then here is the presence of the enemy. And so then my question would be, if I have a choice to turn my face here where all of my power, all of my strength, all of my joy, all of my health, all of my wealth is. But then I decide I want to be sad. I want to be depressed. I want to be, not that I want to be, that I am allowing that emotion of sadness and depression and unhealthy and all this stuff to overcome me. Then I'm turning my face away from the very source that gave me the choice to have everything that my Creator has. So when you look at depression and you think about that deep pressing of the negative emotion, you can say, wait a minute, I do have a choice. Now, I don't have a choice in my sister having seizures and going into the hospital. I don't have that choice. I don't have a choice in my sister may have to do dialysis. I don't have a choice that my sister was born with sickle cell. I don't have a choice that two of my other sisters deal with depression. I don't have a choice in that. But my choice is that I can keep my face turned to the Creator that has created me with the power that I can call things that be not as though they were. I don't know what's going to happen with my sister, but I know that all things is going to work well. I don't understand why this is happening, but I know all things is going to be well. I don't understand why did I lose that job, but I know that all things is going to be well. I don't know why he walked away from me, but I know all things is going to be well. I don't understand the path that life sometimes takes, but I know that all things are going to be well. That's my choice. Or I can start saying, why does this have to happen to my sister? Why do I have to deal with this? Why did they have to fire me? How could he leave me? Why don't I have enough money in the bank? Why is my life like this? My, I, me, I, my, I, me, my, I, me. When I focus all on my, I, me, and I feel like it's a burden to be me, then I'm turning my face to the power to the source that has no power, to the source that just drags me down into a deep pressing that I cannot see my way from. But if I keep my attention to the source that gave me the power, that I don't understand it, but by your will. I don't like it, but by your will. I don't want to have to deal with it, but I know that you promised me that all things are going to be well with me. And this is where I stand. It's that unwavering stand that you have to take, standing strong in the way that you think and where your emotions take you, because you always have a choice. When we understand the kind of power that we really have inside of us, it will be so hard for you to see anything that shows up in your life and take it as something that is your demise. Take it as something that you can't overcome. Take it as something that is the end of it all. Because it's never the end unless you choose it to be the end. My sister that was diagnosed with potential renal failure and has to go on dialysis, she could probably have to go on dialysis. But guess what? My idea and my understanding is that all things are still going to be well. She could be one of those patients that live on dialysis for the rest of her life and still do fine. We don't ever know what the purpose behind something is. Now, granted, we don't like how life sometimes forms, but I was just teaching a class on the art of evolution and personal restoration. Here is what I mean by that, the art of evolution. Now, our lives are going to completely evolve because we are human. We are living in a world that just evolution is inevitable. So every time we wake up, evolution is happening. I'm getting gray strands. I'm getting wrinkles where I don't want them. I mean, it's like we're always evolving. You're going to have a new cell phone next week that you never thought could do something last week. Everything is continuously moving. So how do you take this progression that's never going to stop and create the art out of it? How do you make it work in your favor? So when I say the art of evolution, that means that I can take the loss of my father, the birth of my child, the loss of my job, the creation of a new business, the prediction of my sister's ill health, and a good doctor's report. I mean, it's like the good, the bad, the ugly. It's all is what's twined up in our life, and it creates this beautiful picture. This beautiful picture that we call life. No one can escape the good and the bad. That's just a part of life. But the art comes in when you look at it all and see that it is forming for your good, forming for a purpose. Everything that I have been through in my life, at this point, I can sit here and say, I'm grateful for it all. How can you be grateful that your father passed away, Erica? How can you be grateful that you lost your mother at such a young age? How can you be grateful that you went through a terrible divorce? How can you be grateful? Because I was able to see as an adult all the things that my parents had instilled in me that now I'm able to give it to my children. Oh, I'm so grateful. How in the world can you be grateful that somebody left you and you are now divorced and raising your children by yourself? Because now I realize I'm stronger than what I thought. Oh, I'm so grateful. You see how you can change those thoughts? You can change the way that you see things. The perception and how you see things is always going to determine how you see it and the outcome from it. Because I could easily be that girl. I lost my parents and I was so young. How could they have left me? What am I going to do without them? And then my life will spiral right down to those deep depressive thoughts. I had a conversation with someone one time before that had lost a loved one, and leading up to the anniversary of their death, she just casually said, my loved one's anniversary of his death is coming up, and I know I'm going to be sad, so I usually just stay in the house and I don't talk to anybody. And I asked, I said, so you're planning to be depressed? No, why do you say that? I just know I'm going to be sad around that time. Well, then you're planning to be depressed. Because remember, your loved one has served the purpose, and is gone. And that doesn't mean that your love stopped. That doesn't mean that you can't still honor the life that they left here. That just means that now you honor it in a different way. So instead of creating that somber mood around his passing or her passing, then you start thinking about how much you love this person, how their laughter sound, the things that they actually love to do, and do something that they love to do in the honor of them. Like, you know what, you're gone, but I have this baton and keep on going. So now you're going to live life through me by the things that I know that you like. So it's like ways that you can really change your perspective in the when things happen to you, and not take it on as, woe is me, I'm never going to get out of this, I'm always going to be trapped into this area. And that was my message to my sisters. I was like, whoa, wait. I am not praying that God will take depression from you, because God didn't give you depression. I am not going to stand in agreement that God is going to ease this heavy spirit from you, because he gave you a choice. And the choice that you have, the power that you have, you can call things that be not as though they were in that moment. In that moment, you can say, I choose not to be depressed or upset or sad. I choose to see things differently. And that's why Finishing Strong always gives you that tool to understand that you always, always, always have a choice. And it's up to you to decide what source are you going to turn your attention to, because the source that gives you power lifts you up. The source that doesn't give you the power deeply depresses you, deeply presses you into a situation where you think that you can't overcome, but you really can. So just understand, depression is sad, depression is big, depression is something that a lot of people are suffering from. And then don't take for granted the person next to you could be suffering from depression. Watch how you treat people. This is why I'm always talking about love. Like, I am the representation of Christ in this world, not because I scream I'm a Christian, not because I have a Jesus pin, not because I wear a cross t-shirt, cross necklace, cross earrings, not because my social media screams it. It's because I am love. And God is love. That's all I do. I give nothing but love. And as long as I give love, love is the only thing that can return back to me. So when we talk about the art of evolution, you want to see your world evolve into something magnificent and great and sound and whole and powerful, do everything in love, even thinking in love. The thoughts that filters through your mind has got to be thoughts of love, of power, and of a sound mind. That's how you are able to see that power and a manifestation in your life. That's how, instead of you being deeply pressed in negative thoughts, you can be deeply pressed in love, deeply pressed in power, deeply pressed. Because if I'm deeply pressed in something that's that good, I can't go nowhere but up. I can't do anything but have the life that God said that I can have the life that you've always dreamed of. So not one issue, not one thing in your life can come and stop you. It's one moment in your time, and one moment in your life, one page in your book. You have a million other pages to still write. So don't let that emotional darkness take over. If you have to hear my voice in your mind every time you start to get sad, think about, God gave me the power of choice. Do I choose the power of God and his wisdom and his strength and his might and the image that I was created in, or do I choose the deep pressing of this negative and dark emotion? It's always your choice. So of course, I never like to leave you guys without an affirmation. So repeat after me. I am safe and all is working for my good. I am one with God, the source of my power, strength, and resurrection. I will always rise from anything. I am deeply pressed in love, in life, in joy, in good, in God. I choose to keep my thoughts in unity with the belief that my life has a significant purpose and all is well with me. I am now filled with positive passion of my good that is deeply pressed to my core. It's all good. I got this. Now believe it and know it. Thank you so much for joining me for Finishing Strong. And I know this was a deep conversation, but we have to have it. We got to get raw. We have to take our mask off, and we just have to talk about things. So please share with me your thoughts on this, because this is a whole conversation I want to create. You are never, ever alone in anything that you're going through. Nothing is new under the sun. So let's talk about it. Let's take that mask off, and let's silence the shame of depression. It's nothing to be shameful about. It's all about redirecting those thoughts and redirecting your mind. I love you, and let's finish strong.